I call the honourable member for Latrobe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. What challenges does the Treasurer face in repairing the budget?
I call the honourable Treasurer.
I thank the member for Latrobe for his question, and he recognises, like I recognise, that the biggest problem we have in trying to fix the budget is the person and the people that actually were responsible for the mess, the Australian Labor Party. And I'm glad to say to the Australian people, to Prime Minister, to everyone, that as a result of our budget, we can reduce the debt legacy left by Labor by nearly $300 billion. $300 billion. But the impediment remains. The Australian Labor Party and the Leader of the Opposition, a massive impediment. A massive impediment. And the first challenge they have is to recognise that there's a problem. Now, 2 weeks ago and the weeks before that, they were saying to the Australian people there's no train wreck here, no problem. It's all okay. Everything would have been fine. If we had been in government, it would have surged back to surplus. Surged back to surplus. In fact, you probably would have had the member for Lilly stand up here again and promise 4 years of surpluses if Labor had been re-elected. Of course, we knew that was never going to happen. The only problem was that the Labor Party didn't. So now we have to deal with the problem, and we're getting on with dealing with the problem. We have put in place savings measures that actually, over time, not only reduce the legacy of debt and the legacy of higher interest payments, but also give us a fair chance to give back to the Australian people the taxes that they pay, so that we can continue to strengthen the economy and create more jobs. But the problem is that, like a sun that is gradually coming up on the horizon, Labor is starting to work out there is a problem. In his budget in reply speech, the Leader of the Opposition said there is a budget task. A task. And the Shadow Treasurer at the National Press Club said, yes, there needs to be budget repair. But the fact is they're standing in the way by opposing $40 billion of savings. $5 billion of the savings they took to the last election as their promises. So Labor is not only trying to prevent us from keeping our promises, Labor's trying to prevent us from keeping their promises. And the bottom line is it adds to the tally. Labor is opposing their savings, they're opposing our savings, and they're opposing the savings that are going to fix the budget. They're opposing the savings that are going to fix the budget. Sooner or later, they need to accept responsibility. And after they accept responsibility, they need to provide an alternative. A credible Leader of the Opposition with any personal integrity would offer an alternative.